Welcome to Jerd Knocks. I'm Chris. That over there is Zach. We are two Oklahoma high school football coaches and former athletes who, during one fateful indoor freshman/JV baseball practice, discovered that we have similar interests in all things nerd culture. While you're listening, stop doing so much math, you nerds. Pull over your space shuttle. Are you pointing at me? Pull your space shuttle over, give us a 5-star rating, and leave a review. If you do, we'll read it on here. And since we recorded earlier today, I checked, didn't have one. So
Yep.
People are slipping on that.
Yep. Well, and I was going through.
No, you go.
I was going through our social medias because today I dropped not one, but 2 TikToks.
I was about to say, and TikTok game is back. That's how we're about to blow up.
It's back with a hot take that has our good friend, Coach Schneider, all up in arms about how we... Did you see that?
I only saw the Shawshank one.
He thinks that we're hating on Shawshank, and I was like, no. Hang on. We're not hating on it.
Is that the one he's talking about?
That's the one. He's like, don't diminish the greatness of that movie. It's still one of the best movies of all time.
It's cool.
It just might have stolen from Raising Arizona.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's whatever. Stephen King. Not even an original script. Don't forget. Also, I'm sorry, but I'm distracted. Did you know Bellator is having a pay-per-view?
No.
We're recording this on Saturday, and this dude Eblin, just to finish the fight, German suplexed a guy. Damn it, killed him. It was crazy.
What do you mean by a German suplex? What is that?
He was giving it's like the Heimlich.
Okay. Oh, from behind?
I don't want to say it like that. But yeah.
What you do is you get right behind the guy.
You go to town. Anyways, we're here to talk about Hidden Figures.
Yeah, Hidden Figures.
Knocks.
Right, exactly. Hidden Figures and human computers, really. We're reviewing Hidden Figures. This is our second movie review for Black History Month, like you said. If you missed the first one, we reviewed 42, the story of Jackie Robinson, or just kind of a snippet of Jackie Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is a movie that I have not seen up until this point, like to see, like for this podcast, I should say.
Same.
Yeah. And I've always heard it was good. And being a math guy, I'm kind of ashamed I haven't seen it. But, here we are. And ultimately, I had a good time with this movie. I thought it was really good.
Okay. Same. I was I honestly didn't even know this movie existed. Definitely didn't know the story of this triumphant story of these women and what they went through. Spoiler alert, it's about some women who have triumphs. There's more to it than that. But
right.
But yeah, I had no idea what this whole thing was about. I had, like I said, just had no desire, didn't realize this movie was a thing. Keela shows it to her class. And so, as you recall, you and I were like, you're like, what do we even watch Hidden Figures on? And right. I was like, well, you Google it and it's like Amazon Prime with
ads. That's how I watched it too.
I started watching it and Keela's like, this is on Disney Plus.
No way. What?
So you go, and if you type in Hidden Figures in Disney Plus, you get this and you get next week's movie review, Remember the Titans, right next to one another.
Dang, I could have just knocked them out on the same service. The heck.
And one sitting like I did.
And I don't think I could have done that. There's no way I could have done that.
I'll tell you,
not because they're bad movies.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Dude. All right.
I'm just trying not to. I don't want to give it away.
No, I got you. Yeah, you're good. So we want to do grades first, right? And then your kind of like ensemble of reviews you got. Is that what we want to do here?
No, let's go.
Let's do your ensemble first.
Yeah, this is
here. Let me. You know what? I'll do my synopsis. Shut up, Siri. I'll do my synopsis.
She's just doing her job. Dang.
No, I know. I didn't say her name though. I'll do my synopsis so that way these reviews make sense. Does that?
She thought you said Syrinopsis.
Right. I need to stop saying synopsis.
Yeah.
Right. We're good. I'll do the synopsis, and then these reviews will make more sense.
Yeah.
Right? We good
Mhm.
on? Okay.
Well, is
All
that
right.
is synopsis is it going to spoil something?
No, it's not gonna. It's the plot. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
plot of the movie. Okay, in 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Here we go. Um, as the United States raced against Russia to put a man in space, NASA found untapped talent in a group of African American female mathematicians that served as the brains behind one of the greatest operations in U.S. history. Based on the unbelievably true life stories of these three women, known as human computers, we follow these women as they quickly rose the ranks of NASA alongside many of history's greatest minds, specifically tasked with calculating the momentous launch of astronaut John Glenn into orbit and guaranteeing his safe return. Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson, and Katherine Goebbels Johnson crossed all gender, race, and professional lines, while their brilliance and desire to dream big beyond anything ever accomplished before by the human race firmly cemented them in U.S. history as true American heroes.
That makes this sound really boring. Like that was such a. That was, there's more to it than that. I don't know.
It's more, yeah. There is
I think
more, but
I think part of that just goes into like the reason I'm like I have no desire to watch this movie.
what are your thoughts on space though? Do you care about space? I feel like if you don't care about space, you hate this movie.
It's interesting. There's a review falls right in line with that. What are my thoughts on space?
Well, yeah, because I feel like you're gonna. I don't know if that's not that plot doesn't excite you or make you think, oh, this movie's going to be good.
You want to
It's
know why?
probably because
Why?
you don't care about going to the moon. You don't care about orbiting the
As I
Earth,
say,
whether
we
it's
talked
round
about
or
this, right?
flat. We've talked about the moon landing being real or not. Yes, that was brought up in our conspiracy
That's not
theories.
even it. That's not even it. Do you want to know why I don't care about space?
Why?
Because only 5% of our Earth's oceans have been explored. We don't know what's underneath us, and we're
No,
worried about what's out there.
I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you on
Is that not just a
the
ridiculous notion?
oceans. The oceans are far more intriguing than space. I'm behind that.
I mean, this is like, in my opinion, it's like we got to figure out what's going on in the trenches before we get way out there.
I got
But
you.
we're scared to go down there, man.
I know. I don't want to
The
go down there.
truth, the real truth is down there, and I think it's connected. This is totally off topic, but I believe aliens and the ocean, it's all interwoven, and I think aliens, that's where they live.
They don't live in the sky. They live down under.
Well, not Australia, but Australians would kill
They're kind
aliens
of
so
aliens, though.
they would kill
Honestly,
aliens so fast.
Australians are kind of like aliens in a way. Like
Well, yeah,
they don't belong.
yeah, no,
And
come on, man. I love Australians, but I'm saying like, okay, there we go. Reviews.
there we go.
My feelings on space are, it's cool. Just whatever. I don't get super excited about it. Okay, so we got a professional review written by Jennifer Marin from awfj.org, probably fake. Brilliant performances by Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, Janelle Monáe, and a first-rate ensemble make this a not-to-be-missed revelation and writing of American history. So she enjoyed it. And I do. I
Yeah.
always find it fun when someone says her story instead of history.
Oh, I was trying to like understand what you were saying. I was like, does she say hearsay or like is that a typo?
No, she said her story. Her
Okay.
story, like history, but it's hers.
You know, people do that, but with Christian, like in a Christian way, they'll say his story, like God's story. So that could work both ways, lady.
I was watching that Bellator event, and there was a commercial for Jesus, which Jesus needs
Oh yeah,
commercials
I've
now.
seen those.
The us, he is us. All right,
Yeah.
who's paying for the advertisements for Jesus? And all right, I'm sorry.
I got you.
Here we go. Here's a 5-star review. So this is someone who really enjoyed this, or supposedly really enjoyed it. This is Samantha Jeffs. Okay.
Okay.
The movie Hidden Figures is a true story about 3 women that have black skin, but They show that black people can have rights too. I would rate this movie a 10 out of 10. It is
What
an
is that?
awesome movie.
What is that? What is that? You're like, you know what? That reminds me of what oh gosh, what it's Dumb and Dumber, right? When
Yes.
Jim Carrey's character walks up to the old lady and is like, you know what? Senior citizens
Although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still
can
serve a
still serve a
purpose.
purpose.
She steals all his beer. God, it's a good
We got to
movie
review that movie.
at some point. So now we're gonna drop it down a tier. This is the that was a 5-star. Here's a 3-star review, so a little bit less. This man's name is Levi Oliver. I'm always a sucker for space and smart people movie. Apollo 13, Good Will Hunting. Overall, I enjoyed the movie, but all caps, far too much focus on the black women and discrimination. I don't mind education on these items, but we all know it wasn't a shining point in history, but this felt a bit like propaganda.
Propaganda?
What color do you think this guy is? Hold on. Hold on. The storyline was a little weak in spots. So much focus on relationships and racism. The cool space stuff was skimped on.
I'm far more interested in going to space than worrying about, oh, we've got black restrooms and water fountains. That stuff, that doesn't matter.
Skip it. I want some more math. Come on. Why do we have to show her go to the bathroom every time?
Really, this guy's just using that as an excuse, like to be racist, right? I mean, there's no way.
I don't know. I mean, like, it's a thing where I think the people that write reviews for this movie that I'm reading, anyways, they're white people and they're having a hard time putting how they feel about this movie out there, at least through words.
Yeah. But like, and that just tells me there's no way this guy actually watched that movie, though. There's no way.
No. And he talked about Apollo 13 and Good Will Hunting, 2 movies with white everything. I would say Good Will Hunting's maybe the whitest movie of all time.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean? It's in Boston, right? During the fall?
Right.
Robin Williams has a beard?
The whitest movie of all time?
Ben Affleck? Like, it's white. That's neither here nor there.
I don't know, dude. 3 Ninjas was pretty white.
I don't know, man. I watched Facing the Giants one time.
I didn't see one black guy.
Not even on the other teams. Okay, anyways. Last review from me. Guys, man, this is not that funny. It's just a 1-star review from a man named, appropriately named Dalton Short. No, not good. I don't like space. So he's on the opposite side of the spectrum. This had too much space for him.
Too much space.
Whereas our previous reviewer, not enough space.
Too much space. No.
All right, now let's get into our thoughts.
Yeah,
because that's what we're really here for.
That's right. That's what you signed up for, people.
Yeah, the thoughts on the Black History Month podcast by 2 white
guys.
Yeah.
We have
us,
but we're getting better, right? Kind of.
We're trying.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this movie. I always kind of, and we talked about this. This is a weird comparison, but like, remember in Heavyweights when there was that race at the end between the 2 camps, and one of the like trials is a math section.
Yep.
And like, I was upset because the problem didn't make sense.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of
yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing I have here. Is like, I physically I cannot understand some of the math that they are doing, and obviously because they're rocket scientists, but that part is like kind of frustrating because just me, I want to be able to like somewhat know what they're talking about. The only thing I did know was when they were talking about a parabolic orbit. I was like, okay, I know what that is, right? It's like a parabola.
Oh, you do. I remember taking. I remember the word parabola
Parabola,
because
algebra 2.
I mispronounced it my senior year and was mocked by all the sophomores that were taking that class because I was this freaking dude who took it as a senior because I needed it to like get into college or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, this parabola. How do I work this, Mrs. Robinson?" She's like, "Oh," and all these sophomores like, "Oh, what an idiot!" I'm like, "I'm gonna shove a trombone down your throat, dude."
Oh,
I hated that
um,
guy, freaking
God.
Bruce, man.
Bruce,
Bruce,
hope you're not watching or listening.
yeah,
Um,
Bruce the douche is what all the other band kids called him. I asked him. He wasn't cool enough to hang out with us theater kids. I'll tell you that much.
okay, yeah. So the math didn't get behind the math, but obviously because it's too elevated. But Octavia Spencer is phenomenal. I hope,
Ooh,
honestly, by the end of her career that, and I don't know what this looks like, but I hope she gets the credit she deserves because she is one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best black actresses I have ever seen.
you think she's
And I think she's great.
a lifetime achievement kind
Oh
of
yeah,
award winner?
oh yeah,
Has she
easily.
ever has she ever won a big one?
I would have to check. I would assume she might have won one for The Help, but I mean, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
the help.
Yeah, but no, I think it's well acted. The three main characters I think are fairly good. I don't know. I did enjoy this movie. I'm going to give mine and my rating an A minus.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah,
Um, as I said before, didn't know this was a movie. Really had no idea what the story was going into it. Once you press play, you realize it's Jim Crow era. We're talking a bunch of whites only bathrooms, things like that. The late 50s, early 60s, right? Is
yeah, oh
when this
yeah,
takes place.
yeah,
Space race is on. It's got a really cool sense of like foreboding with the fact that the Russians are beating the United States, but it's told through the lens of these three black women who are working at NASA, and the tribulations that they have to go through just to get to work there, and then they get assigned as a part of this really um, prestigious program to send an American into space. It's a really good story, but like you said, it's the characters, it's the ensemble actors of this film that make this movie great. This would almost work as a stage play. That's why when these people are talking about the space scenes aren't good, I didn't care because if you are familiar with history, we sent this guy into space. So it's like a spoiler
right.
alert. This
Yeah,
is not about the ending of this for me. This
yeah,
is about how can you entertain me along the way to make me care about math, to make me invested in the lives of these people. And I am in love with this cast. We'll talk more about them. It's one of my points once we get into spoils because there's some things that I feel like that's one of my main points is the cast is so freaking good, and they won an award for best ensemble cast.
yeah, deservedly so.
So yeah, so that's it. I give it a B plus.
Okay.
I think it's really good. It suffers from kind of the same thing as Jackie Robinson, where and this does it better than not Jackie Robinson, but 42. This does better than 42 because it's more lighthearted and it sets out to be more lighthearted from the get go than what you would expect. But they can't really dive into serious the seriousness of the lives these women had to live being African American at that time.
Right.
And so some things come off as weak or cheesy, but again, it does a good job of setting itself up that it's more lighthearted than what those women actually went through,
Right.
so to
Yeah.
speak.
100%.
Really enjoyed it. A big surprise enjoyment for me. Is what
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Also, Octavia Spencer, Best Supporting Actress in 2013 for Ryan Coogler, Black Panther.
Oh.
Ryan Coogler's Fruitvale Station.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so
Oh, and she was nominated Best Supporting Actress in
yeah, she was in
Hidden
this movie.
Figures. Yep.
Yeah. Um Yeah, it was actually nominated for 3. It didn't win any Academy Awards, but it was nominated for 3. It was nominated for Best Motion Picture. Obviously, we just talked about, or you just talked about Octavia Spencer, Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role, and then Best Adapted Screenplay. So all 3 of those. Didn't win any of them, but they got
What year
Oscar
is this?
noms. 2017. So off the top of my head, I don't remember who won that year. I can look that up real quick.
Yeah, but we're going into full spoiler mode here.
Well, spoilers are
Full spoilers. Yeah,
5 points.
5 points for both of us. I'll get this thing started.
Okay.
When we set out to create this list, I thought and I had no idea what Hidden Figures was. I had no idea what it was about. I'm thinking Hidden Figures. Are we getting into Underground Railroad? We're getting some hardcore stuff. No, Hidden Figures are mathematical figures. And so when I literally turned it on and saw like the poster for this, I don't even want to watch the trailer. And it's rated PG. I was really disappointed. But again, I think setting up the opening scene of this with the car not working and these 3 women bouncing off of each other and the police officer does a great job of establishing there's serious themes. There were serious things going on, but this movie's not diving into that. This is just the story of these women, and we're going to tell it in an entertaining way. There's weight to everything that's going on here, but it's not that. We're not going to make it that serious. We're gonna entertain you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I really appreciate. I think this movie does that well. The entertainment factor. It takes that tone and it's like, okay, this is the direction we're going to go, and it does it really well. So I do appreciate the film for being consistent in that way, because it can be frustrating sometimes with films that want to kind of act like they're a little bit lighthearted, and then they want to be super serious, and then they want to come back, and so the switching back and forth is always kind of tough on the audience. So
I think what does this have, like one scene where she really breaks down hard?
Yeah, and it's warranted.
It's really good. It leads to it. It's probably the best part of this movie. I mean, it's one of the better scenes.
Okay, so the movie that won Best Picture in 2017 was Moonlight, which has been recommended by Vince Davis.
Yeah, it's also on our list.
And then Actress in a Supporting Role, actually Viola Davis won this for Fences.
Wow. So 2017. Hats off to you. That was a good year for Black actors and actresses in film. Actually, I've ever talked about you're not supposed to say actresses. You're supposed to say actors.
As soon as I said actresses, I remembered that conversation we had. So we're just
I really don't care. But like someone does.
It's like, right. Okay, and then Best Writing Adapted Screenplay, because that was the other nomination. Moonlight won that. So I don't know where that originally came from, but
and we're over here doing Hidden Figures and Remember the Titans next Wednesday.
Yep, there we go. One of my main points, and I don't know if this is on purpose by the directors, I'd have to do some more research, but if you noticed in the Space Task Group, so where she's working to check the math of all the engineers there, you'll notice all of the men are wearing the exact same outfit, right? They're wearing the white button down, the ties and whatnot. And about, I want to say like maybe 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through the movie, I had the thought of, because it was around the time when the Kevin Costner, I forget what his name is in the what character he plays, but
he plays
right
Kevin
when he
Costner.
starts to realize he's right. He is always Kevin Costner.
But
it's right when he starts to that, honestly, that's the movie that made me think of that. When I was watching this, I was like, oh, this is Draft Day. This is Draft Day Kevin Costner. He's playing GM.
He's clearly not Dances with Wolves Kevin Costner. That's not going to fit.
He's not wearing a cowboy hat.
I can't say that. I've never seen Dances with Wolves, but it's Avatar, right?
Well,
or Avatar is Dances with Wolves.
Avatar is Pocahontas, right?
Which is Dances with Wolves.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen Dances with Wolves either.
I'll be honest with you. I've never heard of Pocahontas. Anyways, sorry.
Anyways, when he starts to realize that, she's actually bringing good stuff to the table, outside of, what everyone else has been doing. I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but I thought maybe the reason why they were all wearing that same outfit was because they're just stuck in kind of like their same line of thinking. Like they've always done it this way. This is like, why are we doing this? Because it's the way we've always done it. Right.
Mm,
So no room for change. You don't need to check my math because I'm good or whatever. I'm the leader.
yep,
So I don't know if that was on purpose, but I thought it was, at least to me, I was like, okay, this really interesting aspect they threw in there. But
gotcha.
yeah,
I felt like as far as because my next point is just the cast in general. It's everything is really well cast. The three leads obviously incredible, and we can talk about them. But and one of them I'm going to talk about specifically with my next point. But the white actors in this are really good at making you dislike them, and it threw me for a loop because I'm like, oh hey, it's Kirsten Dunst. I love Kirsten Dunst. Oh, and she's bad.
yeah.
She's a rude Southern white woman.
What did you think of her? I couldn't really. I don't know.
What do you
I don't
mean?
know if I could get
Stale?
into. I thought she was a little stale. Yeah,
Mm,
which hurt me
uh,
because my childhood was Tobey Maguire's Spider Man, and that was my Mary Jane Watson.
yeah, I knew her because my childhood was Bring It On, and she's the lead cheerleader in that. If I
She's the
really
lead
can,
cheerleader to Bring It On.
yeah. What do you
Oh
mean?
man,
Have you seen Bring It On?
no.
Oh my god! All right, thank God I'm listening on a headphone right now, so Keela doesn't hear this. This interview would be over. But no, so yeah, she's got potential. She's got potential to kind of be meaner, or she has a redemptive arc, if you will.
Yeah,
There's the chance that that could have been more powerful, and she's just kind of a flatliner with this to
yeah.
me. Like she had more potential. Now the dude that I'm like, heck yeah, Jim Parsons, uh, the
Jim
Bazinga guy.
Parsons.
That guy's
Oh
good
yeah,
because he's
kills it.
super subtle with it. When it's time for his redemption arc, whatever, he's better. He's really took hold of this character because I think what he does so well, and maybe it's weird just because I've only ever seen clips of him from uh what is it?
Big Bang
Uh
Theory.
I was about to say the how to bang your mom theory. I was getting How I Met Your Mother and Big Bang Theory,
It's all mixed up.
but I guess he's so over the top in that I expect him to always act that way. But he
Mhm.
does. He plays this role really subtle. Every like little subtle things he jabs at her with, and he's very matter of fact. I just thought he was a really good fit. Now the boy from John Glenn,
Yeah.
I don't like that guy.
Oh, dude,
That
what?
dude, that dude's cheesy as heck, and he's
Oh,
just
but he's supposed to be cheesy.
he's not that guy. John Glenn was a real guy. You think he
I
was he
know.
that guy? I don't know. I was like that. This dude's fake. I'm like, I don't like this guy. I thought it's funny that I brought this up because I was like really happy and praising the cast, and I brought up two people that I thought could have done better.
Yeah,
But
that's fair. That's all right.
yeah,
Honestly, the guy that played John Glenn, he is in Top Gun Maverick, and he
hmm
does a really good job
and
in
he's
that
in
movie.
Devotion, which is the one with him and
Oh,
him and Kang playing pilots
oh,
in World
wait,
War II.
no, I was thinking
Yeah,
something else.
the dude loves to be someone who pretends to
Wait,
fly.
Devotion, is that the one with Daniel Craig?
No, maybe
What's that movie? Daniel
I don't know.
Craig plays like a Jew in World War
Yeah,
II.
I don't think it's called Devotion. And the one I'm talking about came out this year, and it's Kang, Jonathan Majors,
Oh,
and he's a black.
Plane,
Huh?
Plane, or something.
No, just move on. Okay, the acting's really good in this,
um,
except when it's not. I guess not.
yeah. Okay, my favorite sequence of this movie, I should say sequences, are when she's running back and forth from the bathroom to the Space Ass group, and how they were able to build upon that. Like, because I knew that was going somewhere, right? Like, you see that one time, and you're like, okay, this was funny, it was good, whatever. It was well shot. Soundtrack is awesome too. The music
Yes,
they played there was
for the
great,
times as well.
perfect. And then when they did it again, I was like, okay, this is a theme, right? They're going to string this together. It's going to lead to something. And then it's awesome that what it led to was the final one where she's running back to the space task group to like check the math for the last one. So cool. And also, side note, that did not happen that way. As I was doing my research, um, John Glenn did ask for her to double check the work, but 2 weeks before takeoff,
I
not
think okay,
not
so
30 minutes before takeoff.
I think we all knew that. Like, I ain't getting on
I
this.
needed that. I
I ain't
needed
getting
that
on this
confirmation.
space. It's similar to that's similar to Elvis. How it's
Yeah.
like the way this new Elvis movie does it, where it's like they're like, oh, he's gonna do a Christmas special, and then like they show up to film a Christmas special and just wait like turns his back on the entire set of a Christmas village instead does his own thing. It didn't happen like that. They knew it was gonna happen. They just had some Christmas songs. Also, that movie.
I have it pulled up. I know. I was gonna say I'm an idiot. I got us off track and you were right the whole time. So yeah, I
Yeah.
see devotion. It's there he is.
Yep.
You were right.
I know. Okay, so my next point, my favorite character in this whole thing, and it's actually my points 3 and 4. So after this, I only have one left, but it's Janelle Monáe, the woman that plays Mary Jackson. She is the highlight of this film
She's
for
great.
me because I think I expect that um, from Octavia Spencer and what is the other woman's name? The main character.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Vince. Taraj Henson.
Katherine Johnson?
Wait, well, yeah, the actress's name.
Yeah, Taraj Henson.
Yeah, Taraj Henson and Octavia Spencer. I knew they were incredible actors, and I knew they were going to put some out. I did not know Janelle Monáe was going to come out with the sass and the weight of her words, the way that she's sharp and crisp and gets a point across, and just like eating up scenery and standing toe to toe with these heavyweight, incredible actors that have won awards, and then this girl's a rapper slash actor, like she's a singer, and I didn't know that. I didn't know anything. And I
Yeah, I
looked her
didn't
up
know
last
that
night, and I
either.
was like, God, and she's good looking. And that was my thing. I was just like, who is this girl?
Right.
And I was just blown away by her. I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I think the the last part of this, where when this movie's over, they show you pictures of what they look like in real life,
Yeah.
and the real Mary Jackson she's definitely sassy. Like you could
Oh, you
tell
could
just
tell
through black
100%.
and white photographs. Like she's like, mm-hmm. Like as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, and I loved her interaction with the judge. Someone's
Oh,
going to be the
awesome.
first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then her man is Hawkman from Black Adam.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, didn't know
Couldn't
that.
shake that after watching on back-to-back nights. Like, get out of here, Hawkman.
Uh, okay, my next one is that it's just kind of a trivia fact. It's that when Taraj P. Henson signed on for the lead role, she met with real life Katherine Johnson, who was 98 at the time, to discuss the character she was about to portray. Henson learned that Johnson had graduated from high school at the age of 14 and from college at age 18 and was still as lucid as anyone years younger. After the film was screened for Johnson, she expressed her genuine approval of Henson's portrayal, but wondered why anybody would want to make a film about her life, which is like wild because how would we not want to make a film about someone a human who did a human who did math that only a computer should do?
Because it's about math, Zach. That's even she's like, it's kind of nerdy. Don't y'all want to make a movie about John Glenn, this brave astronaut? 30
Like,
minutes
really,
before
guys?
takeoff, it's like, get them nerds in there and get that math right. I don't trust it.
I know I'm all dressed up, ready to go, but I just have a feeling.
Mama, I'm nervous. Why did Forrest Gump show up? Get Forrest out of here. Get that woman that does the math. But that's cool. That is really cool. I love when actors play like. Have you ever heard the story of Cuba Gooding Jr. meeting the real life radio?
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's like, hey, you know who I am? Cuba Gooding Jr.'s got to be like, yeah, obviously. Like, look at my fake teeth. Like, I'm playing you. uh,
Oh.
all right, my final point here. Marshala Ali is in this film,
Hmm.
and I cannot look at him without thinking, "Are you good enough to play Blade?" By the way, this has nothing to do with
Mm.
this movie, but
Right.
this is a nerd conversation we're about to have, and I think the answer is yes because he's taller than I thought. He's got a little cool voice.
Yeah.
Just don't know, man. Is he? And that's cool. What is Blade in the MCU? You know,
We don't need Blade to be anything but a cool looking guy that, those of us who know a bunch about Blade, that number's not going to grow, right?
yep.
Probably. Um, so yeah, I think he would be great.
I think he's got
He's
the look.
he's great in True Detective. He's great in everything he does, right? He's
Yeah.
in Green Book. He's great in that. He's great in True Detective. Just put him in. Just
Hmm.
just do it. Or if
No.
if not, then uh make him John Stewart, right?
Yeah, but you can't do that, man. He's Blade.
They better be Blade.
This sucks. They threw that whole script away. But this is why I bring this up. So I'm watching this movie for the first time um, last night, and the first time you see him, they're like, let's give a round of applause for our ladies back here. They're in church. Give a round of applause for our ladies working with NASA. And everybody claps. Then I'm like looking over, and he's like, and let's give it up for. And I'm thinking, Blade.
Right?
This
Well,
preacher, but let's give it up for the Daywalker himself, protecting us from vampires. And I'm like, oh yeah, that works.
we're all on the same page here.
And I was like, yeah,
Um,
that's all I could think of every time, every scene. And then I think I got up to go to the restroom on the scene where he proposes,
mhm,
and pulled a I pulled a Big Daddy
mm.
where I walked back in, and all the kids are all like giddy around the table, and I was like, he's not proposing, is he? And Keel was like, shut up.
uh,
But yeah, overall, I had a good time with this. You got any more points?
nope, that's it.
Good.
Great movie. Go watch it. It's on Disney
Yeah.
Plus and Amazon
If
Prime.
you have not on Amazon Prime, it has ads.
If you want to waste more time, watch Amazon Prime. That's what I did.
But Disney Plus, if you got the subscription, it's ad free.
Yeah.
Other than that, that was our movie review podcast, our second in our Black
Yeah.
History Month movies. Our third will come out next Wednesday. It is all-time classic. We were going to get to that film sooner or later. Remember the Titans.
Yeah, those were, yeah. I'm super excited for that review.
Whether it was going to be through football month or at some point, we two guys who grew up watching Remember the Titans are going to have to talk about it. And that is coming up next Wednesday. So make sure you check that out. This Saturday, we will hopefully be having a podcast with one of us in Bristow, America, and the other one in College Station, Mexico, Texas, whatever they call it. It's the independent state of Tejas. But that's what'll be going down. So if you don't have a new podcast on Saturday, it's Zach's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. You can blame it on me. And also, if you are watching this our first video podcast, so if this is just an absolute abomination and I can't get it to work, then maybe you're not watching this. Maybe that's not the first video one, but the audio is good. I know that for a fact. So
hell yeah,
we'll see. Those of you on YouTube.
If this is bad, just remember our tendency to get better for a while and then get really bad. And then we get better again. And then we just kind of whimper to August. There's one controlled example of this that happened last year.
Yeah.
Then we just kind of scrap it and start over. But make sure you check out Keyland on social media. Kyle Ross and the boys got us our intro music, outro music, what have you. And leave us that 5-star rating and a review. If you've got movies you want us to watch or a theme for a month, or you just have questions for us, anything, interact with us on social media at JordanKnoxPod on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep. All right. See you.